Hi, everybody, on this Monday morning. We got the 9th day of February. And if you're like me, you watched the Super Bowl, and well, you're not like me because you didn't get up at 2 a.m. after the Super Bowl. But it is all good, as they say, except for Patriots fans. And I'm included in that group. On this Monday, it's a bright and brisk morning again. Wind chills have been running below zero. We had air temperatures between 0 and 10 below in some of those coldest hollows. And yeah, pretty amazing. Sustained cold and at times bitterly cold for really since our little January thaw, mid-January. And now we're on the 9th of February. We just continue to deal with these blasts of cold air, and in between, not really much of a break. So good morning. You made it through the weekend, I hope. There is hope, folks. There is hope. We could be turning the corner as far as this, at times, Arctic, frigid, brutal, biting air mass that we've been dealing with. So let's take a look at the rundown this morning. It is another cold start out there this morning, but by this afternoon, I think it'll feel less harsh. But it is another cold start. Biting breeze today, and those breezes will relax by dinner time. Go in the chat and tell me what your favorite commercial last night was as you tune in, because there were some good ones and there were some other ones too. Yeah, I can't see my head. There we go. Biting breeze. Those winds will relax later on. And light snow tomorrow afternoon seems like something that's likely. And then a moderating trend is also likely temperature-wise. The overall trend is that let's get rid of these shots of wicked cold air and replace them with seasonable weather, and at times slightly above normal and just slightly below. Instead of these wild extremes, like this morning, it got down to, it went below zero at Windsor Locks. And the normal low is like 18. So we were 20 degrees colder on the low side. And the high temperature yesterday was 10 degrees. Or was it 20? Normal high is 37. Yeah, we were about 17. It's incredible. It's incredible how cold it's been. The weekend was absolutely brutal. More on the weekend in a minute. First, let's give us hope, as hope is always. Karen, I agree with you. The Dunkin' commercial was my favorite. So I said, let's give us something to look forward to. And this would be from the European model, which again does okay. I wouldn't say great with temperatures. Today is pretty cold. Wednesday, after a little bit of snow and maybe some mixed precipitation, can be mild. Saturday can be mild. Then a storm could bring us some precip. But look at the trend next week. Again, nothing ultra cold, but at least some signals of milder weather. It's not fake spring. We're not going into the 50s and 60s, but it is something to look forward to, because if you're like me, yeah, I'm sick of the cold too. It has been brutal. Going through firewood like crazy. I'm scared to see what my utility bill is going to look like. So it is what it is, and we're all dealing with it for sure. But for now, at least, it is. There is some hope. Okay, there is some hope. Just 1 second here. Let's do that. Okay, Saturday was wild. We had an Arctic boundary that worked its way across the state, and something that we talked about in this space here in the Weather Lab last week. I think it was on Thursday. Did I do a live on Thursday? I had to pick up my dog. No, I didn't do a live on Thursday. Back on Tuesday? Yeah, my dog had surgery Wednesday. We've talked a lot about it. Doing okay. It's impossible to control an animal who is intelligent but no common sense and wants to run when it can barely walk. It was a lot of fun walking him on leash, and I will be doing that for the next couple of months when the wind chill was 25 below zero. It was really a delightful weekend, but I digress. Saturday, Arctic front got to a certain point in eastern Connecticut and just this little ripple of low pressure formed, and it's called a trough. And I wanted to dive into this just a little bit. And we talked about this converging air mass, and it came true. And the access of heaviest snow was across Windham and New London counties, also parts of Rhode Island. And I believe there's another maximum north of Boston. It was highly localized, where some towns got very little. I had about 1.5 inches in my house with drifts of 3 or 4 inches because of the wind. Well, parts of eastern Connecticut picked up 8 to 12 inches of snow. So we sniffed out the trough, but we just didn't have any. These are really hard. Didn't really have any idea how much snow it would produce. And it was a overachiever, as they like to say on social media. Okay, this morning was cold, 1 below zero at Windsor Locks. That's pretty impressive. 2 below zero in Hartford. Are you tired of it yet? Yeah, I saw 10 below in Summers. I've had this weather station on a couple of my maps early in the morning. If you watch, I hope you do. And I've always been like, wow, there must be something up in Summers that really allows that weather station to radiate on clear, chilly mornings. It's wicked cold there. But this morning, there was not another reporting station near it. Like, it was 10 below, according to this. So could the thermometer be maybe off? It could be. We've long felt that the Tweed Airport thermometer has been running high, like 1, 2, 2.5 degrees higher than what's reality. It happens. It's equipment. No equipment's perfect, but single digits above and below zero everywhere this morning, and the wind was extra cold. The feels like temperature at this moment, as we cruise past 9:30 on a Monday, it feels cold. I'm wondering about that. I wrestled with this wind forecast all day today. I mean, the breezes are going to probably kick around some more. Right now, they're not very impressive. The air temperatures are kind of mirroring the feels like temperature. The winds aren't as biting as they've been. And I wondered about this because the area of high pressure, once it gets over us, the winds die out. And maybe today will actually feel better than I originally thought. You'll get some melting. Even though the feels like temperatures are cold now, you will get some melting in the direct rays of the sun today. So maybe a little snow and ice management wouldn't be the worst idea. All right, so the feels like temperatures right now, you step outside Monday morning, it's cold, it's a slap in the face. And high temperatures today do reach 22 to 30, so in the direct sun, you will get some melting of the snow and all that stuff. It's just snow. I don't know if I have the energy to do it today, maybe tomorrow. It'll be milder this week, so there'll be times you can get out and do that. Overnight low temperatures tonight will be chilly. Single digits in teens, not quite as cold, but that's still pretty cold and below what's considered, normal. Okay, now tomorrow things start to get not even interesting, just maybe slightly intriguing. And why do I say that? Is because we do have a little bit of snow in the forecast. One thing I'm very confident is that this won't end up overproducing the way Saturdays did. There could be another one of those troughs. It's called a Norland trough. But it'd probably be up in Maine this time around, the way the setup is. And it's not nearly as dynamic or as kind of crazy, cold and windy. Oh, it was nasty. But notice after 4 o'clock, there can be some snow. I'm not overly worried about this, but let's face it. All it takes is a coating of snow, a couple hundred snowflakes piled up on top of each other, and someone driving too fast will crash and blame it on the weather because the roads are slippery, but it's more about our driving patience and behaviors behind the wheel instead of the actual weather conditions. So a little bit of light snow tomorrow afternoon. Now I want to show you one depiction, and this comes to us from the North American model, if you really must know, and I know you do. This is from the NAM, and this is what the radar can look like tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And there's obviously some snow that's part of this situation. This developing situation, as my friend Bill Pito would say. It's not a big deal. All right. The more substantial possibilities for snow are up here. If you don't work on Wednesday and you ski or snowboard, you get to Killington, you get to Stratton, you get to Mount Snow, you go to Pico, less crowded, go to Bromley, one of my favorite mountains because it faces the sun. Or you go into New Hampshire and do some skiing, because this area up here can pick up 3 to 5, 6 inches of fluffy snow. They're in a much better position. For us, the system kind of goes right over us, and that usually does not produce a lot of snow. It's just north of these clippers is where you get the most snowfall. And when I say most, it's a bit of a stretch, right? This is that same depiction from the North American model. And I want you to notice those are tenths of an inch, 0.4, 0.5, 0.7. So my forecast was, a coating to an inch toward the shoreline, 1 to 2 inches inland. You see that little light blue shading could be 1.5 inches or 2 inches in Windham County, or maybe parts of Litchfield County. And there's nothing to say that this can't fill in a little bit. So it's just one model depiction, one answer to the question is how much snow, and it's not a lot. So again, we're not overly concerned about it, but I just simplified it and pretty much went right through there. And if I were forecasting for the rest of New England, I'd have something like this and say that north would be 3 to 5 to 6, central being 1 to 2, maybe 3, 1 to 3, and then southern part of the map would be coating to 1. So that's that. It's not a huge deal. But I'll say it again. If it's happening during the commute, something will happen. Just having snow in the air, something will happen. A little snow on the ground, say it with me, something will happen. It's just the way things go nowadays. And obviously the ground's really cold, so the snow can stick, but we're not talking about a lot. We're literally talking about a 1/2 inch of snow. But that's the world we live in now. Okay, let's look ahead. Many folks, I should know this, but my kids aren't in college. My kids aren't in elementary school or high school anymore. Is there a winter break coming up? Maybe somebody can answer in the chat. I know around the President's Day weekend, there's usually a long weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but do they continue it Tuesday and Wednesday? Is there a little winter break? I feel like the kids just went back, but I don't have kids. I have no dog in this fight, as Tom Brady once said. The reason I bring it up is that there is some weather coming in on Sunday, and I say presidential mess. President's Day on Monday could be dealing with some rain or mix or snow changing to rain. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen next Sunday and Monday. If somebody tries to tell you that, they know they don't. There's literally hundreds of different solutions, and I just grabbed one that says a wintry mix to some rain that might flip back to snow. Okay. This is the better news. 8 to 14 days out. Let's analyze this because we can. The jet stream may be kind of like this now, and this is a big, big change. Ooh, that's a wavy jet stream. Does it mean warmth? I showed you. Maybe some middle 40s later next week. Maybe. We're going to keep that close to the breast. It's been so cold. And there's still some slight signals of, closer to average temperatures along the mid-Atlantic and tri-state. But under here, it's crazy mild. And for skiers that have plans to go out west, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see this colder air and storminess start to invade. The west has been so dry. There's all sorts of fire danger out there. The skiers are just dying. They really need it out there for the Vales of the world and the Copper Mountains and Sun Valley and, Utah. I don't know. You can't trust anything you see online anymore, but I saw a video from like Snowbird, and it is Dirt Bird, right? Like, weren't the Eagles the Dirty Birds? Or was that was probably a video game on my phone. It was Angry Birds. See, I'm angry, dirty, no snow. So out west, they really need the pattern to change. For us, we'll take a break. Again, it's not a super strong signal, but I think we do at least go a little bit above what's considered average. Sort of reflected in our 10-day. We have 30s and some 40s. I think we can do maybe a little bit better next week. We'll see. But I'm telling you right now, the wind chill this morning was as cold as 15 to 20 below. 22 later today will feel considerably better if the wind dies. But Wednesday, circle it. Wednesday, 37 and mostly sunny. That will feel phenomenal. And then we cool off a little bit, but nothing too dramatic Thursday and Friday. Right now, big night, Valentine's night. There's going to be fair weather, and something could come in here for Sunday into Monday. Could being the key phrase. Not exactly sure what it looks like or what type of precipitation, but it's something that will keep you up to date on air and, of course, online and right here on our digital webcast here. I love this space. And with that in mind, we're going to answer some questions. What map should I show to? I'll put that one up. Okay, we'll answer some questions. And I'm going to keep this kind of quick. We're 16 minutes in. I did watch the Patriots. I went to bed. I think it was, they scored. Yeah, that pass play made it. What did they make it? 21 to 7, I think it was. I don't know. I lost track. 22-7. I went to bed after Darnold threw that pass, and I think we threw a pick, and I said, all right, I'm done. Fourth quarter. But that's not a lot of sleep, so I'm going to go home and take a nap, and then I got to take care of my dog all day. Let's answer some questions, though. Comments. The Duncan with the sitcom, I thought it was hilarious. From Jennifer Aniston to obviously Ben Affleck to all those actors. Sam Malone shows up, and Sam Malone. Ted Danson, that was really good. Good morning, Hank. Loving the cold, says Greg. I dressed warm yesterday, still can get outside. Oh, I know. I was outside all the time all weekend, but it was not comfortable. So you can go love the cold, but man, yeah, Katie, I'm with you. We can hopefully find some warmer weather soon. It's 4 below zero in Newington at my house when I left for work. Yeah, Mike, that's ouch. That is cold, cold stuff. No two ways about it. I need blizzard snow. Well, do the math real quick. 13 years ago today, 13 years ago. It's amazing how fast time flies. Whatever you want to call it. The Great Snow Dump 2013, or NEMO from the Weather Channel. That was a big one. And we were cleaning up, and there was a lot of cleanup. Saw a picture on Facebook Memories that showed me my my other Bernese Mountain Dog who passed in 2017. Brady was named after the quarterback, and we were probably celebrating a world championship. But the snowbanks were just huge, and he was a big dog, not a huge one. I'm not happy. This is the first time I pulled myself away from the fire in days, and I'm hovering over a little heater in my office. Yeah, Aaron, it is cold, no doubt about it. No, not that I'm aware of. Jessica, I forgot what I asked. Oh, well. Bristol has Monday and Tuesday. Oh, that's okay, cool. So in Bristol schools, which I would think mirror many other school districts, they would have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Or Monday and Tuesday, I see. So a little winter break. David, definitely going to have to check that out. Okay. I love when people converse. Bringing people together, that's what we do. Lynn says, good morning, I'm ready for spring. Yeah, I'm getting there too. I hear you. I'm sick of the ice brick cold kind of weather. Yeah, Jessica, it has been tough. Debbie asks, how's Guinness doing with his recovery? He's doing very well. Thank you. A lot of folks have asked on social media. Never been through this before. Dogs can't talk to you, and they really don't listen when they don't want to. Like they don't understand common sense. Like, hey, you just had surgery. Maybe you want to slow down a little bit. But we have to leash walk him for several weeks, and that's hard to do because he's been kind of free to roam the yard on an electric fence. So walking him is one thing. Doing it when it's 10 below is another. And also with snow all over the place, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But he's doing well. He's walking decently. He had the surgery on Wednesday, and it's Monday, so we have to give him some time. For those of you that don't know, he's my 160-pound, beautiful Bernese Mountain Dog from a breeder up in Sharon, this dog is majestic. And now it's hard for me to sit there with an ice pack on his leg and trying to, move his joints and stuff. It's just weird. And he thinks it's weird too, because he looks at me, he's like, what are you doing? So, but thank you, Debbie. He's going to be fine. It's just a long road to recovery. Are we going to see a return to cold weather after this warm-up, Timothy? Well, let's talk about that for a second. First of all, it's not really a warm-up. I would call it barely a mild up, okay? This, again, is only one model depiction, but I can show it to you because it's there. So 41 is only 4 degrees above average. So when we talk about, I know you just typed fast. You're like, hey, it's going to get cold again. Invariably, it's going to get cooler again. But now, as we start getting later into February and into March, we start fighting everything. We start fighting the sun angle. We start fighting that strength of sunshine. And the coldest air masses become more modified by the time the air gets here. So it'll definitely cool off, and there probably could be plenty of snow later this month or into March. It happens all the time. But we're always fighting. Now we're fighting spring. And, but that's important to note, is that yes, we might cool off, but it's harder to get pure Arctic air like we had this weekend that hurt the inside of your nose. It's really hard to make that happen. As you get deeper into the late winter and spring. Please, says Ronnie. I think the Budweiser one was the best with the bald eagle. Yes, that was very cool. Completely unrealistic if you know birds, right? A horse is not going to raise a baby eaglet. That would have to have been, but it was cute. It was cute. See, sometimes you got to stop thinking realistically and just let it be. And it was really cool. Well shot, too. I thought that was really nice, too. Yep. 20s with no wind and bright sunshine will be balmy. Yeah, Joanne, we got to get ready. We got to get the light winds, though. That maybe tomorrow, but the clouds roll in. Yeah. Later today, I think the winds will diminish a little bit. So get a little vitamin D. Right. About school. Thank you. I got you now. I'm still ready for the warmer weather. Yep. I hear you. I hear you. It has been tough. This will always be fun. When Dave, my pugs have become reluctant but expert ice climbers. Will be nice for them to touch grass again soon. Yeah, I mean, we've had a snowpack now for a wicked long time. I can't remember the last time I just had this much snow on the ground for weeks upon weeks. It's pretty amazing. Thank you, Dave. I hope my puppy does recover completely and wholly, because it is a lot of effort, a lot of work, and a lot of love, and a lot of money. That's the hard part about it, is that it's just crazy. So here's your exclusive 10-day forecast once again before we say so long, farewell, and it's time for me to go. Sunny today, 27 feels like 15. It's not great, but I think once that wind starts to diminish, and right now I'm just looking out across some of the houses in West Hartford, and the smoke is coming out of someone's fireplace, and occasionally it gets blown right along the, parallel to the ground. So that shows me that there is a breeze out there, because there's no leaves to really show up. So a little breezy, a little chilly. 27. Just dress for it. Tomorrow, less wind, increasing clouds, and a little bit of snow, as we talked about. I think a coating to 1 or 2 inches is all. There's no reason to think there'd be much more than that, but we'll look at more data coming in, but it probably end up being less than that because I'd rather have you know about that threat than ignore it completely and say, well, we're fine. We're fine. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday look like a really nice set of February days. Temperature's not bad. Morning lows a little chilly, but that's to be expected. And then Sunday, Monday could be wet or wintry. We'll see if it ever gets up here. Or maybe we'll go chase it. But we'll see. And that's a Sunday and Monday next week. And fair weather on Tuesday. So, and I think, again, it can get milder during this 10-day forecast. So that's your 10-day. I certainly hope everybody has a great day. I need a nap, and I have to continue rehabilitation with my dog. Thanks for swinging by. I'll be here in this space almost on a daily basis. If I'm here, I'll be here. And we'll probably later this week have some more interesting weather to talk about in the way of some snow or mixed precipitation and or rain Sunday into Monday. For now, we're just watching that Clipper system with an inch or two of snow. I am meteorologist Bob Maxon. Thank you for stopping by, and have yourself a wonderful Monday, and congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. Ooh, it hurts to say that.